Hey guys, Shane here. Real quick before we get started on this week's video, I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Do check to make sure you haven't been unsubscribed by YouTube, because it seems that that's been a thing recently, according to a couple of people who've reached out. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think. Now, on to the video. Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Trains with Shane. I'm sorry it's been a couple of weeks since I put out a video, guys. I have just been very busy, and in between that I've just kind of also been in a little bit of a funk trying to get stuff done, and being unable to get stuff done for one reason or another, usually not my fault, but you know, life has a way of getting in the way of life. So, lucky enough, we're going to get a video today because I had cut my little finger on my left hand pretty good. Doesn't look so bad now, but you can see the line right there. I was moving some stuff around, and I had cleaned my tank with my little scraper here, and this was laying upright like that instead of flipped over like I usually store it. And I went to grab my monitor and move it, and this was there, and I nailed straight into it with my pinky. And those of you who are old enough to know what a safety razor is, you know what kind of blade this is, how thin it is, and how sharp it is. Look at that. So it didn't even hurt when I hit it. My hand stopped, and I knew that it shouldn't have, so I jerked it back, and as much as it bled, you'd have thought I cut my jugular. Guys, it looked like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And after I was able to get most of the bleeding stopped, I grabbed the super glue, glued it up, and a couple of days later, you know, the super glue fell off, and this is where we are. And it never hurt as far as like throbbing pain. When I bump it against something, of course, it's a little tender, but I'm well enough to do a video. So here we are, putting pain aside and putting my well-being on the line for you guys. Yeah, if you believe that. Anyway, all of that was true, but like I said, no real big pain. Looks like a paper cut now, but it was pretty serious the day before yesterday. So what do we have? Well, this is kind of a will it run, but I purchased this brand new. I purchased this from Lombard Hobbies back about the third week of March or so. So it's been sitting a while, but those of you that have been around know that I've been through some not great life stuff since then. So that kind of put a damper on things, and this kind of went just on the bench and pushed aside. So we're going to take a look at it today. It is an Atlas. It is a GP40, and it is in my favorite road, MKT, as you guys know. It's the DC only version. I didn't feel like springing for a DCC or DCC with sound. I don't know, guys. I love DCC and sound, but in N scale, it just seems to not really work that well for me. It tends to be unreliable. That being said, and you guys will probably crucify me down in the comments, but the best running DCC and sound locomotives that I have are almost all Broadway limited. So yeah, do with that what you will. So let's take a look at our guest here today. This is cab number 245. I think the Bachmann, I'll have to go back and look, but I think the Bachmann GP40 is cab number 245 as well. I reviewed that on the channel 2 years ago now. Go back and watch that video if you haven't. I'm going to have to go back myself and verify, but yeah, I think it's 245 as well. So anyway, brand new DC. Let's get this thing out of the box. So I try not to break it. I like the foam and stuff that Atlas uses here, but it is not the easiest to extricate the model out of these things. All right, let's get our Rick's pick here and dig our foam out and get her up in your teeth. All right, for starters here, looks like either that's foam or the paint's a little sloppy on the chain here. A little bit of that white paint bled over. Okay. Not great so far. You can see I don't know if that's a molded in detail or if that's a paint run right here, if you guys can see that. Another little chunky on the top. Even with the magnification of the camera, I can't tell if this is crappy paint work or molded in details. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you know for sure. Our green's laid down nice. MKT. Now, in contrast to some other models that I've seen, you'll notice that there's almost, except for right here on the bottom and up here, there's almost no discernible difference in height in the paint between the yellow and the green. It looks nice and thin. It's not obscuring many details, if any. Wow, we've even got a small fuel decal right here, or it might be paint screened. I don't know. I think that's an emergency shut-off button. We got molded in details here on the side of the tank. Pretty basic, but not bad. Greasy paw print, as is the custom. Molded in details are pretty good for a basic N-scale locomotive. I'd like to see a little bit better on the intakes for the radiator here, and a little bit better on the dynamic brake intake grill there. Fans look okay, not great. Molded in detail. Not much depth in the turbo exhaust here. Oh, got a little beacon, that's cool. 3-chime horn. Missing what would be the normal 1-chime horn on the rear, which was common on MKT units of this era, 80s. We do have the correct white number boards with black letters. Letters, they're numbers. Don't see any wipers. No shades, no holes for shades. This side, same as the other. Looks like we've got some almost legible writing here. Again, some pretty sloppy paint right here. At least we have our F for front decal here. Attached snowplow. Have our magnetic trip pin couplers. Action seems okay, but not a lot of movement side to side. I'd be interested to see how this would work in an ops session. No molded in, or excuse me, all molded in grab irons. No freestanding, separately applied details. The rear step does not move. Detail is pretty light back here on the rear pilot. More chromey paintwork. Atlas, you're not winning any awards here. Atlas made in China. Copyright 1996. Is this that old of a manufacturing process? It very well might be. I hope not, because I know for a fact this is a new release. So if they're reusing old tooling, I'm going to be a little upset, because I paid quite a bit of money for this. I mean, not an exuberant amount, but new locomotives are expensive. So if I wanted a 30-year-old engine, I could buy one used. So anyway, what do you say we get this over onto a track of some kind, find out what it does and what it does not do. I'll see you guys over there. All right, we have made room on the disgusting workbench for the Steve's Trains Executive Inglenook switching layout, the portable switching layout. I've got my DC Rokuhan controller plugged into the AC adapter, so we're running on full power. Let's turn it on, pick a direction, and dial up the juice. That's not good. We get lights. No, what, maybe? Oof. Let's try going back forward. Nope, no joy there. I don't want to leave this thing on at full power for too long. Oh, we're starting to move. Okay, well that's at full chat on the controller here, so I don't want to risk burning something out. So let's reset. We'll get this thing up on the foam cradle and see if we can figure anything out. This might just be old stock that has sat on the shelf so long that we are dealing with dried lubricants. So let me reset. We'll be right back. All right, we've put our foam cradle on the track here. Power is off. Have our unit. Bachman to the rescue here. If I need to drop this thing, but let's see if we can just pull it apart by grabbing the tank and wiggling. Nope, she doesn't want to go. So we're gonna try the box drop here. Not my preferred method, but it seems to work. Guys, I'm not responsible if you break the front pilot off your unit by being too hard with this. So this is just how I do it. Take your front pilot, just put a finger on this thing to steady it. You're not pushing down with your finger more than just to keep the locomotive from moving. Find a flat surface here. Wrap it a couple times. Let's see if that was enough. No joy. Let's try again. I think we might have got it there. Wow, guys, this thing is on there. Well, it's not too old of a mechanism. We have a wired truck here. May also be why the shell is so hard to get off. Well, there comes the tank. double sticky sided tape. There we go. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. There we go. Wow, that dude was on there. Begs the question. You guys remember our trials and tribulations with the Intermountain Kansas City Southern SD40-2 from a couple of weeks ago? And the fact that it was just the body interfering with the mechanism keeping it from running. Let's do a little bit of troubleshooting here. Now that's full power, and she's still not moving very well. Saying that's full power, not moving at all. So we've definitely got something wrong with the mechanism here. Get down in there. I can't find a good light to show you guys. You see that? Where did my Rick's pick go? I think it might be under the, to use a toothpick here. Look at in there. I need something thinner. Well, it's not hardened, but there's a lot of it in there. There's our double sticky sided tape that was holding our fuel tank on. So our wheels are brand new. We shouldn't be dealing with any kind of electrical conductivity problems because of the new wired system here. Both of these trucks float freely. This doesn't feel like it takes an appreciable amount of effort. That's moving. That's moving. I'm concerned about all that grease in there, though. How to proceed? I don't think I have another board that would fit this, because look at the bend in that board, guys. Well, looks like there's a piece of isolation plastic here to keep that electrically isolated so it doesn't ground against the doesn't look like anything's bent. Let's try something a little different. Let me get you guys zoomed back out of here. All right. Let's, you guys know what's coming? The electrodes. Let's go to the frame here and see what we get. Oh, come on. That's working out pretty okay. Nice and smooth. All our wheels are running. So what are we dealing with here, guys? Should I just let this run for a couple of minutes? Should I clean our wheels? Because I don't think we have a pickup issue, but we might. Is the blackening process adding some kind of schmoo onto these things? Is it where the contacts go into the frame halves here? I don't even know how to work on that. Are they just push pins that slide in? It's reverse. I mean, it's absolutely working, going directly to the chassis here. I think it just needs a break-in. I've never had to break in a Kato for it to run right. I mean, usually it runs okay out of the box, at least. Let me smell this thing while it's running. Yeah, no ozone or anything. Nothing smells like it's getting hot. It's a mystery, fellas. What say you? If I had my druthers, I would put this on a loop track and run it for an hour and see if it smartens up a little bit. I might try adding some Labelle, what is it, like 108 or whatever, some oil. See if we can thin out this lubricant a little bit. Although I really don't think that's the problem because it's running nice and smooth. I've still got it humming away here. It's not really cut and dry. Type a suggestion down in the comments. I'm going to work on this behind the scenes and let you know what I come up with. I'm back with a thought. You guys remember the Intermountain SD40-2 from a couple of weekends ago? Even when I ran it without the shell on, it would exhibit some funny, like, light flickering. Watch this. See how that rear is kind of flickering? I don't know if it'll catch that on camera. Now we'll come this way. See how the light on the reverse side flickers when it's not being... I hope that shows up on camera, guys. Sometimes the refresh rate of LEDs and lights versus photography equipment can be weird. Like if something is perfectly in sync, you won't be able to see it. Sometimes that happens with stuff on a 60 hertz refresh rate because a lot of stuff in the US here is still on a 60 hertz, especially on a AC. I'm going to try cleaning this thing like I did, well, like I always do. So I'm going to do that and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, guys, storytelling time with Uncle Shane. Fans of the channel, at least long-term fans of the channel, know how I like to clean wheels that are particularly scongy on used locomotives, right? Break out the very fine grit sandpaper. You can see where I've done it many, many, many times before. I hook up the electrodes, let the mechanism do the work for me, and I lightly hit the flanges and the contact surfaces here. You guys have seen the before and after look on that before. So you tell me which one of these wheels I did and which one is factory and untouched, or which 3 are factory and untouched. Can you tell? How about now? How about now? This one is the one I've done already. Guys, look at the difference. And look at the... I can't quite grasp it. See how kind of funky this looks? And this one too. I mean, it looks like there's scuzz on it, or mung, or whatever you want to call it. And here's one I prepared earlier. You can tell. It looks like they always do after I'm done taking care of them. This isn't a new locomotive, guys. I bought this thing brand new from Lombard. So, is it something messed up in Atlas's manufacturing process? Discuss that amongst yourselves. I'm going to finish up here and I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, I have completed our wheel cleaning here. Let's see if we've done anything here. Let's go slow. Looky there. Slow speed creep. That's about, I don't know, a little over halfway. I have to stop that. Dial it up. And she rolls out. Dial it up. Rolls out. Quiet as a church mouse. Huh. I don't know what to tell you, my friends. Brand new. I'll show you our results here. Just a second. Let me slam this back together. Make sure our truck wires aren't hanging loose like these appear to be. Appear to be misrouted. Get down in there. Go to your home. There we go. Other side looks fine. That one does not look fine. That's why that shell was so hard to get off. Let me get this up in my teeth here. Stand by, guys. There we go. Just had to use this to gently persuade that wire up and around. All right, now that we're not going to destroy anything, at least that we know of, let's try to get this thing back together again. Come on, Humpty Dumpty. Click. All right. Double sticky sided tape. I don't know. I mean, I've had laptop screen bezels held on with double sticky sided tape before, brand new. So, I mean, I can't I don't know, guys. It seems cheap to me. Just make it clip into place. Get my foam cradle out of the way up here. All right. Still doesn't move out great, does she, guys? Got to be kidding me. We've got power. Something. Are we derailed? Look at that. It doesn't even return to center. That's because of those stupid wires are in there so tight. Let's try this again. That's full speed. Full speed. Full speed. I'm not convinced, guys. I don't know, that doesn't seem like it should be right. I get the argument, oh, it's prototypical speed and whatever, but I mean, it didn't run when we first put her on the track, and we've made some improvements to our situation here. This, I mean, both of them are like that. I mean, look, they don't return to center. And it's because those wires are so short and ran so tightly, held up against the side. I mean, and I guess that's supposed to be better than the old copper contact strips, but this thing sucks. It runs like crap. I'm going to get in touch with Atlas, see what they have to say. At least I think I will. I don't know. The last time I sent something in to Atlas for service, I ended up being out over $200 because they claim that the U.S. Postal Service destroyed it, but yet they let it sit on their dock for 8 months, or 8 weeks rather. Anyways, guys, I don't know. I don't know what to call this. Glare is what I call that. I'm not satisfied. Atlas used to be right up there with Kato for you just pull it out of the box and it works. I've had a bunch of Atlas locomotives. 90% of them used. And some of them very well used. You guys have seen them on the channel. Heck, I've got... Remember this guy? Remember this guy? I found boxes for him, by the way. These are actually GP7 boxes, and I just modified the foam. But, yeah, remember these guys? These guys run like a Swiss watch. I think, well, actually, one of them might be Kato, so... Yeah, this one might actually be Kato, but this one's an Atlas. This thing runs awesomely, and it's well used. You know, we even had to buy a couple of dollars worth of parts to make it work. But that mechanism was at least a decade old, if not older. And it used the copper contact strips. It moved free, it was easy to maintain. This ain't the way. So, I don't know, guys. Master line. Yeah, you got your master. I'm going to keep it around because it's MKT, and the world is not overflowing with MKT rolling stock, at least as far as my favorite green and yellow locomotives go. I don't know, this and now this thing may be running as intended. So if you guys have any experience, leave it down in the comments. What should I do? Should I contact Atlas, risk it? Should I just toss it in a drawer and not worry about it? Or what should I do? Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss, guys. So anyway, I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It helps the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it greatly helps the channel. I'm working on putting together everything for our 2,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to do 2 giveaways, one for my regular YouTube subscribers and another for my Patreon subscribers. So if you want 2 chances to win, hit me over on Patreon. And yeah, until next time, guys, stay safe, and I will catch you on the next one.